counting of votes is underway for the assembly elections in India's Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. The trends in Haryana are going against the exit poll predictions, where the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party is leading the main opposition Congress. The candidates of the National Conference and Congress Alliance are ahead in majority of seats in Jammu and Kashmir. While elections were held in 3 phases in Jammu and Kashmir, Haryana went to polls in a single phase on October 5th. In Haryana, 93 counting centres have been set up across 90 assembly constituencies in 22 districts. More than 1,000 candidates, including 464 independents and 101 women, are in the fray. Now, the BJP, which is looking for a hat-trick of wins in the state, is involved in a direct contest against the Congress in most of the seats. This was the first assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir in 10 years. It is also the first assembly polls since the abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. Now, that changed its status to a union territory. The key poll issues in the election were Article 370, restoration of full statehood, unemployment. According to the Election Commission officials, a 3-tier security setup has been put in place at all the counting centres to ensure that all goes well in the restive union territory. The fate of 873 candidates vying for a seat in the 90-member House is expected to be revealed by Tuesday evening. And for more on this, our special correspondent Idris Lone joins us from Srinagar. Also joining us live on the broadcast will be Ms. Shikha Mukherjee. She's joining us from Kolkata and she is a senior journalist. She's going to give us a better perspective on this. Let's go across to Idris first. Idris, according to the initial trends, while the National Conference Congress Alliance is inching towards the majority mark with BJP in the second, could you get us more perspective on it? This perhaps goes in line with the exit polls?
Well, Isha, this is, even the exit polls had not predicted what exactly is happening on the ground right now. 43 seats, National Conference only is leading on, which was not expected at all. They've not done well only in the Kashmir division, but they are also doing well in the Jammu region as well. If we talk about the Indian National Congress, they don't seem to be doing that well in the Jammu region. But overall, it seems that the National Conference and the Congress is ready to make the government. BJP is still on 28 seats, leading mostly in the Jammu region. There was hope that BJP will open its account in the Kashmir division in the Gurez area, but that seat is also gone and taken by the PDP. Now what we are seeing on the ground right now is a sea of people, especially from the National Conference Party as well as some from the Congress Party, here outside the Srinagar's counting station. We are right now at the SKICC, as you can see in your visuals. There was a 3-tier security system already in place. The security forces were expecting that there would be huge number of people coming to the this counting center, and that's what exactly is happening. But none of the exit polls had predicted that National Conference will actually sweep these polls. They're in an easy position. If we look at the situation right now, they're at 43 seats, which is they're just short of a couple of more seats to form the government on their own, which was not expected. But they have, nevertheless, the support of the Congress Party here with them, which seems that it will be an extremely easy coalition between the two parties to form the government. However, we also saw that the PDP chief, Mehbooba Mufti, had also hinted that if at all the National Conference and the Congress requires the support of any political party, they will be the first one to give them unconditional support to form the government, to keep the BJP away. And it seems that they would not require that much of help from other parties, because at the moment, National Conference leading at 43 seats, while as Congress at 8, On the other side, BJP at 28, which seems that the National Conference and Congress are going to easily form the government.
Right. Idris, while you say that a sweep wasn't expected, but perhaps the exit polls did give an edge to the Congress NC by at least a slight margin in the state. Shikha, let me go across to you now. But how do you compare and contrast the results so far with the exit polls in the state of Haryana?
I think Haryana is going to be the cliffhanger. It's a complete reversal. It seems to suggest at this point that whatever the exit polls had predicted, it's all gone wrong. Obviously, the strategy that has worked for the BJP is as follows. That is, there were a large number of independent candidates, 464, as you mentioned, and these seem to have nibbled away at the lead of the anti-incumbency wave against the BJP and the potential leads that the Congress had anticipated it would get, as well as what pollsters, exit poll surveys had anticipated, that these votes would shift to the Congress because it is a bipolar election in Haryana this time. The two regional parties, the JJP and the INLD, have done exceedingly badly. And that is why in this polarized election, it would have been expected. The anticipation was that the anti-incumbency votes against the BJP, which has been in power for 10 years, would shift to the Congress, and the Congress would therefore make a huge jump in the number of seats that it won. The point also to be noted is that the Congress and the BJP are running neck to neck in terms of the vote share. In other words, it is a fight between two equally popular parties. In Jammu and Kashmir, and that is what is the most interesting, I think the issue of statehood, restoration of Jammu and Kashmir statehood, which was downgraded to Jammu and Kashmir in 2019 was downgraded to a union territory. It was run by the center. It was run directly by New Delhi. And therefore, this election is a mandate on that particular decision. It is also probably a mandate, less emphatically a mandate on the restoration of Article 370, which gives Jammu and Kashmir a special status.
Okay.
There are certain issues on which the Article 370's special status provisions will be back in the political game as priority political decisions for as much the National Conference Congress as it will be for the BJP. But what is disturbing is that the BJP has not won as many seats in Jammu as it had hoped to. The National Conference is doing exceedingly well in the valley. It has also made headway in Jammu, which makes it an all Jammu and Kashmir party, representing both the areas of Jammu and Kashmir, and that is at some stage it could become a hot issue in the sense that Jammu, as being the more deprived part of the state, can become a potential agenda in the years or months following this particular voting. And that is where a kind of divisive politics could become a part of the state's politics in the days to come.
Okay.
And that is where the danger lies.
Right. Ms. Mukherjee, point taken. I'm just going to come back to you in a bit. Let me go across to Idris again. Idris, since you are on the ground there, now Iltija Mufti, the daughter of the PDP president and former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti, was one of the most looked out for candidates, but she has also been trailing so far. What do you think is the reason for this?
Well, Isha, on the ground, the situation now seems to be very clear that the National Conference will have a sweep. And it seems to be a wave of the National Conference, especially all across the Kashmir division. And that's one of the reasons that we are seeing that even the big names from other political parties are trailing behind, including Iltija Mufti, who has just tweeted a while ago and said that she conceded her defeat. Although if we look at her constituency, it's a constituency that has been kept by the PDP from the last 20 years. 4 elections continuously they have been winning from that seat. But since the abrogation of Article 370, everything seems to have changed on the ground. And we also saw that this assembly election was a litmus test for political parties, especially the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress in Jammu and Kashmir. And with if we look at Jammu region, even their national conference performing well means that people have supported what these political parties, especially the regional political parties, have been pushing for, which is that they want this special status back, which is that they think that the most important things are the domicile, the land rights, the job rights that National Conference has been talking about. And on the ground, it seems to have worked for the National Conference so far, because they're leading on 43 seats right now, while as BJP is at 28 only, and Indian National Congress at 8, which seems that National Conference and Congress will have an easy way to form the government in Jammu and Kashmir. Some of the big leaders like Umar Abdullah is leading on both the seats that he is fighting, which is Gandarbal as well as the Budgam seat. Iltija Mufti, she was one of the top contenders for the Bijbehara seat, but she has lost there. While as National Conference's one seat has also gone in North Kashmir, where Nasir Aslam Sogami has lost the seat to a PDP candidate. So
Right.
PDP, 2 of the candidates are doing well. One has already been announced a winner. Wahid Ahmed Para is also very close to winning his seat. So it seems like there are other political parties which were in the fray, especially the Engineer Rashid's Awami Ittihad party, but that has also not performed well on
Right.
the ground. And his charm in terms of he had come out of the jail from after 5.5 years, people thought it would work. He might get the sympathetic vote, but he didn't get any vote, and he's not also
Okay.
leading on any of the seats at the moment.
Okay, points taken there as well, Idris. And thank you so much for joining us with the latest on those very interesting elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Thank you so much, Ms. Shikha Mukherjee, for your perspective as well. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.